Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. I'm Brother Mandene T. Muhammad. Welcome you to another edition of Muhammad and Friends, a CROE media production with you in mind. We are streaming live. The number to call in is 773-434-6625, 773-434-6625. In this age of technology, you can check us out via various social media platforms, including Facebook. You can like and share that broadcast. YouTube, you can like, share, and subscribe each and every time that we go live. And most importantly, check us out on our own site, CROE.org or CROE.tv, and check us out from there. Just click on the CROE Media link. Check the show out. After you enjoy the show, go on down there to that donate section, and especially today being what today is, Founders Day, CROE's 36th annual Founders Day, because we know you're probably going to give a substantial amount, so increase it even more so now that you realize that it is our anniversary. The event is tonight. We're looking forward to seeing each and every one. Should be standing room only, 5:30 to 7:30 here at CROE, 2435 West 71st Street. Definitely looking forward to seeing everyone. If you can't make it, you can always make sure that your support, you can send that in. That way you won't feel so bad and beat yourself up that you weren't able to make it. So I know how that goes sometimes. So joining me, we got several guests coming on today. This first guest I am definitely honored to have on. He is like a father, like an uncle, just an advisor, someone that has been around. Brother Munir's best friend, you know, our dear brother, his CROE supporter, friend, family, just so many accolades, businessman, successful businessman. And hey, my brother, most importantly, Brother Abdus, Raoof. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yes, sir. You got me nervous over. I don't even know what to ask you first. Where we going, man? But you know, all the times I would travel with Brother Munir. If we was in Alabama, you know, it's almost like being, 10 minutes away from Atlanta. We was going to Atlanta to see you, and
Right.
you have so much history. Like I said, I don't quite know where to start, but you're here. You're taking time out of your busy schedule to continue to support us and celebrate, because you are a member of CROE.
Yes,
You're
sir.
not just visiting, an operation just because you feel sorry for us or you want to feel charitable. This is home to you.
That's right.
And it's always been home, and so we appreciate that. But talk about that. We can't just talk about you without talking about our dear brother, Brother Munir, and you growing up with him down in Alabama.
Well, I haven't been here since his transition, and I wondered myself how my heart would feel when I got here. And praise be to Allah that I feel wonderful.
Yes, sir.
And I find myself looking around, and I look at his picture as much as I've always have, and I look at this picture, and I think about it, and I think about him.
Yes, sir.
But in terms of friendship, I think we were 13, 14 years old when we first established our friendship. He would visit me, and I would visit him. And we continued that friendship all the way through, up and through, even now, we're still friends. I remember when I came into the Nation of Islam, I was in Birmingham, Alabama, and I had left Chicago, and I used to live here. And he called me, and he said, brother, I found what we've been looking for.
Yes, sir.
And I had stopped doing foolishness way before then because I just didn't want to do it anymore. And so I said, well, what is it? He said, I found something that offers us money, good homes, and friendship in all walks of life.
Yes, sir.
He said, you need to come up. He said, when can you come? I said, I can come when I get ready. Anytime. He said, well, can you come next week? So he said, you come on a Wednesday or Thursday, and then we'll go to the mosque on Friday.
Yes, sir.
So I got a plane and came up here and went and visited. And the rest is history. I went back, and everything he said was true.
Yes, sir.
Is that I saw an organization or a movement that addressed all the needs of black folk in America. And it made me feel good about myself because I saw clean, wholesome Muslims individuals that had discipline,
Yes,
and
sir.
it just made me feel good. So I went back, found the mosque in Birmingham, and I joined.
Mm.
And I worked tirelessly in the movement, and I worked up to FOI secretary.
Yes, sir.
Then I became the secretary of the mosque until Wallace took over.
Mm. Yes,
And
sir.
then everything happened for whatever it's worth. Well, we won't get into that.
Yes, sir.
And we decided that we didn't want to stay in the mosque anymore. And then Munir said, well, Raoof, I'm starting, several of us started an organization called, and we're going to keep the messenger's name up. He said, I'm tired of the foolishness. I'm tired of everything that's going on, the foolishness that you and I've been doing. So let's get back to the real work.
Yeah.
And when I came here and saw what he was doing, there again,
Yes, sir.
I accepted it, I looked at it, and it made sense. And I'm a contractor, and so we talk about foundation. Everything that we do in life has to have a foundation.
Yes, sir.
When I start a construction project or a house or a building, we make sure that the foundation is good. We dig, if we find any porous dirt that's not good, it's contaminated soil, we dig it out and we replace it with soil that's palatable, good soil,
Yes, sir.
and we compact it. We get a density test and we make sure that it's strong. So when we put that foundation in, that the house or the building don't move. I look at CROE as the foundation of Islam or the messenger's teaching. When he said, we're gonna keep the messenger's name, we're gonna buy some billboards. That's the way it started.
Yes, sir.
And look where it is today.
Yes, sir.
And I applaud all of the members of CROE, everybody that's involved with CROE, Minister Wasim, Brother Tyrone Powers, everyone that has been involved down through the years with Brother Munir and Brother Shahid and Brother Halif and you and all of everybody. And I think about it as I called in last week. I commend you all for doing this work because this is not an easy work. Minister Wasim said today is that this is monumental. This is historic. And we have to, and you all have to, and I'm going to challenge you to keep this going.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to challenge myself to continue to support it. Now, there's one thing that we have done. If you look at the hands that the messenger had,
Yes, sir.
and on that's what used to be on the paper. What we've done as Muslims in Atlanta, 4 of us, we've reached across the globe in Morocco, and what we're doing, we've started another business. I won't talk about it now,
Yes,
but
sir.
we've started another business, and we have another one, something that the messenger did when he was importing and exporting.
Yes, sir.
We're looking at getting back involved in that. And even though some Muslims say that it was the first resurrection, or it was the beginning and it wasn't true Islam, we had to start somewhere.
Yes, sir.
The messenger brought to us a dignity that no other leader in the world, not just in America, but in the world ever brought the black man in the hells of North America.
Yeah. You know, I get it because listening to you, we talked a little bit about, you know, your new endeavors as far as the import and export. But like I said, didn't get back on those early trips with Brother Munir down there. You were always doing something. I mean, I think you cut a little hair. You were a tailor. You did. Yeah. I think you made pants.
I used to make clothes and sell them.
You made clothes and sell them.
Mm-hmm.
You like you said, you know, those when we take for granted when we see those sewers and whatnot on the ground.
I did all of that.
So you was that type of work ethic, you know, entrepreneurship, was that instilled in you prior to joining the ranks of the Nation of Islam, or was it always, was it always there and it just amplified?
Let me say this. When I was little, my father, I was always good with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I built a little toy house. And the guy next door was an older gentleman, and he used to work on cars every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, I can take that motor out of that car.
Mm.
And he said, well, come on. And so he allowed me to assist him in taking that motor. Well, my mother was a seamstress.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her to fix some pants for me one day.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, I don't have time. So I used to watch her, and I said, I could do that.
Yeah.
So one day I went, and as I grew up, I was an adult, a teenage adult.
Mm-hmm.
So I got married at 17.
Mm.
18, I'm sorry, I got married, and I bought a sewing machine.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to make it. So I bought a pattern, I cut the pants out, and I couldn't get the zipper right. So I went and asked her, I said, Mom, how do I do this zipper? She said, you got everything else? And so she showed me. She said, you can do it.
Mm.
So I messed with it. And so, and when I joined the Nation of Islam, I realized that I had to do for self.
Mm.
So we sold papers, and I made a living selling papers,
Yes,
and
sir.
earrings and those kind of things. And so I said, I'm going to make clothes.
Mm.
So I would work 3 weeks out of a month sewing, making pants and jackets.
Mm.
And 1 week I sold them.
Yes, sir.
I did that for years and years and years.
Mm.
And I made a good living doing it. But it was taxing on me to make the clothes, then go out and sell them. So then I started going to shows, and I would buy clothing. And then that's when Brother Munir,
Yes, sir.
I told him, he said, well, what are you doing? So I explained it to him. And that was one time I was bringing him into something,
Okay.
right?
Yes, sir.
And so I told him to meet me in New York. So we flew to New York. I carried him down to the garment district, and the rest is history. He
Yes,
got
sir.
involved in the clothing business
Yeah.
and shoes and everything. And so so you asked me, I'm going to go back to the question. So to answer that question, I had it in me, but the Nation of Islam allowed me to demonstrate the skills that I had.
Yes,
and it
sir.
made me even more yearning to get involved and do for self.
Yes, sir.
And when I got in the utility construction business, I got in it by mistake. And a guy said that the city of Birmingham had to have a minority contractor to do sewer pipe.
Mm.
And I said, well, I can do that.
Yes, sir.
But I had never done it.
Yeah.
And I partnership with him, and he kind of took some money and didn't do what he was supposed to do. And I severed that relationship, but I saw that it was a need. And I got all the bonding and everything, and then I got involved. And I had a Caucasian guy that worked for the water department told me one night after I had a break that he would show me because he saw that I was being misused. He said, I work at night, he said, but during the day I'll show you all of the tricks of the trades of this. And he showed it to me.
Yes, sir.
And the rest is history. And Allah blessed me to be successful. I was the first man of color to lay water pipe in the city of Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes, sir. Now, it sounds like you never worked for anybody else but yourself.
No, I had a job. I worked for the Urban League for almost 13 years.
13 years.
I left the Urban League in 1990, June of 1990.
Yes, sir.
And the Urban League allowed me to go into the building construction business because my job was job development, and then I became the director of the Senior Workers Job Training program.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave me the flexibility to move around. And when I saw, let me back up. What happened, the Urban League was, you know what the Urban League does?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we had a huge project in Birmingham that they needed minority contractors. So the Urban League had the meetings for the minority contractors there. And the gentleman that was heading it up invited me to the meeting. Mm. And so I went to the meeting, and they would always argue about who was going to be in charge. Mm. So I asked him, and I had Islam. So I said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that group operation is what we should do, that you all should do. They said, who is that? So I explained it to them. They said, well, we don't go along with that. And so right then I knew that there was a need for someone to be in construction business.
Yes, sir.
And that's how I got it. That's what made me, I went to school at night to Bessemer Tech to learn heating and air conditioning and how to learn how to read blueprints.
Yes, sir.
And that's how I got involved in the construction business.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you one thing about it, you look at something and you figured, you believed in yourself, that's for sure. You said, I can do that.
But the reason was that the teaching
Yes, sir.
of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave me the strength, and I'm going to repeat that,
Yes,
the
sir.
teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave me the strength that let me know that I could tackle anything
Yes, sir.
that is of good that I decided I wanted to do.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And you have done that, and you've been very
I can say
successful.
all praise is due to Allah.
And you have inspired a lot of people, you know, in doing that journey. So,
Yes, sir.
you know, I definitely commend you. So, but we are here. You were here to help us to celebrate 36 years. What are your thoughts as we're going into this 36 year, and you know, as the co-founders continue to do this work, and everyone else here?
Well, my thoughts is this, is that as long as CROE is here, I'll be here.
Yes, sir.
The founders, they're aging, and let's be realistic about it. But you all, you've been here ever since I've been coming.
Yes, sir.
I remember you was a little teenager, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
and I used to see you, and when you were with Brother Munir, and I used to ask him, I said, who is that? He said, that's my other son.
Yes, sir.
And look at Jamil and what Minister Wasim was saying today. In terms of youth movement,
Yes, sir.
you're one of those youth movements. I guess they say the millennials. You're a millennial in terms of what the society says now. The two brothers that with Brother Wasim, those things you don't just haphazardly do. You got a lot of history. You've
Praise be
been
to Allah.
around the world almost with Brother Munir.
Yes, sir.
Jamil, he's been around. I look at all of the younger brothers that's been here that I've been coming, and they're very respectful. So that means that in terms of CROE, CROE has a unique aura about it. It's not too radical, and it's not too easy with people.
Yes, sir.
CROE is steady, and it's been that way. Brother Munir was a very forthright person.
Yes, sir.
He was very direct, and not that that was a bad thing. So I'm not saying that, but he was a person that got it done come hell or high water. I guess that's the word I'm going to use.
You pretty much summed it up.
Yeah. And so, and I know him. I knew him and know him now.
Yes, sir.
And I've had the pleasure of being with him from 0 to 100.
Yes, sir.
And he has never changed. He's been that way since we were teenagers. This organization, and that's what we're addressing, has the foundation that I was talking about the house and what we do and how we pack the ground.
Yes, sir.
This was started on a solid foundation. And that foundation is the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
And Sister Kim said something to me yesterday, and I have to say it. She said, some people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. She said, Brother Munir talked the talk, and he walked the walk.
Yes.
Every day. He went to bed thinking about CROE. He went to bed thinking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If he was in Atlanta, he's going to call 10 times and make sure everything, what's going on, what's this, that. That is a person that was dedicated
Yes, sir.
to the true mission of an organization. Brother Halif, Brother Shahid, you and Jamil, and all of the CROE members, you all deserve all of the accolades in the world.
Praise be
for
to God.
maintaining this organization
Yes, sir.
from start to finish. He couldn't have done it by himself. Even though he was allowed to be the leader, there has to be one in
Yes,
the
sir.
front. But I'm saying without you all and without CROE family, it could not be.
Yeah.
And I applaud you all for it, and I thank Allah for blessing you all to be all that you can be, and you continue to be that. And you, I look at you, as I told you on the call-in, I'm so proud of you as a young man
Praise be
that
to
you
Allah.
have stayed the course. There's so many of us and so many young folk have come in and gone, come in and gone. But I've seen you here, I've seen you work, and I'm proud of what you've done and what you've been blessed to do. I'm proud of all of you all. But you all did 36 years. I applaud you, I congratulate you, and I pray that Allah continue to bless you another 36 years and 36 years after that one.
Praise be to Allah.
So I
Yes,
hope
sir.
I answered your question.
You did, and you pretty much summed up this segment too, man. Look, those words were meaningful, they were powerful, and they were humbling. And all I can say is all praise is due to Allah. You've always been there. You always, like you said, you're just a phone call away for any words of encouragement, advice, anything. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So it was just great to have you here, since Brother Munir's transition, and here where you belong, And I had the pleasure, as we close, I had the pleasure to interview Sadiqa, your daughter,
Right?
who's like as I joke with her, my sister from another mister.
That's right.
But she's a reflection of you. She has that forthright, that tenacity. If she sees something, like you said, I can do that. That's her.
That's right.
She
That's
figures she can do it also. So she gets it honest.
That's right.
And but I say that, I bring her up to say, although I'm not a biological, son of Munir or related to you, we still get it honest. I was around him long enough.
That's right.
Got cursed out enough times to be able to reflect on some things and to grow from it. And you, as he would always say, you never want to be if I coulda, woulda, shoulda. But
That's right.
every now and then, I wish I could just let him know, you know what, he was right. So but the best way for me to manifest that is to continue doing the work.
There you go,
and
brother.
stay the course, as you said. So I thank you so much for this abbreviated segment.
Yes,
and
sir.
we're going to bring in some other people that's been visiting us, and of course the co-founders later on. But it's a celebration, so we're going to see you later on at the gala and
Yes, sir.
and chop it up and talk over some bean soup.
All right. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Okay,
All right.
my dear viewers. You didn't call in, obviously, because you was mesmerized by the words that this brother was saying. But hopefully you have a question or comment for our next guest that is coming up. Again, the number is 773-434-6625. We're going to go ahead and take a break and bring up our next brother, Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad. And we are back, continuing the show and transition to another conversation. I want to thank Brother Raoof for coming on. And I didn't get a chance. That's actually my first time ever sitting down talking to him on camera. I'm always in his presence, you know, to take in nuggets of wisdom, but that's actually my first time sitting down with him. But this is not my first time sitting down. Oh, actually it is. This will be my first time in person. Yes. I've had you on the show. My next guest, Brother Minister Wasim Muhammad, Minister Camden, New Jersey. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
But this is my official first time sitting down with you. I was so used to having you on the radio show and talking to you via Skype.
Yes,
and same thing with Brother Dr. Powers. I didn't even realize, but this is we've been working here. We've been working so much it seemed like you were physically here, man.
Yes, sir.
So this is I know I say this to a lot of people, but most of them I mean. But this is definitely an honor to be able to sit down with you.
Yes.
Again, I don't take for granted being able to pick up the phone and talk to you and getting consultation from you.
Yes, sir.
And so it's an honor. But we're here. This is a celebration. We're celebrating 36 years of doing the work of chronicling the history of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam and the total black experience. And certainly part of that work is going around the country and seeing who else is of the same mindset. And of course, Brother Munir, as Brother Raoof had alluded to, never met a stranger. So I know, I remember somewhat of the story that, you know, you were looking at Brother Munir via YouTube and everything, and you made the good mistake of calling.
Yes, sir.
And once that happened and he talked to you, he vetted you. That was it. Once we hit town, Jack, you know, as you would say, hey, brother, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Like
but
we knew each other.
All praise is due to Allah, man. But he, we once that day happened, and you can talk about it, we never looked back. We never looked back. We just kept on working, and on both ends, people came and came and went. But we continued to do the work, and we continued to build our brotherhood through good and bad times.
Yes,
and
sir.
we still here, man. So I'm honored, brother.
Yes,
the floor is yours.
But first, Brother Mandene, let me thank you, Brother Jamil, and other Sister Kim, for stepping in and stepping up. And as Brother Raoof just said to you all, if I don't get to say it often, I want to say it now publicly, how proud we are of all of you all. And happy Founders Day.
Yes, sir.
And I want to thank the co-founders, Brother Shahid Muslim, Brother Halif Muhammad, and the late, of course, the great Brother Munir Muhammad, which represents all of us here at CROE. Thank you all for the opportunity to be on this show. And I'm so elated and so honored to come behind Brother Raoof, who was a childhood friend of Brother Munir's. And, you know that this brotherhood and sisterhood that we have in Camden between the members here of CROE is divine, because Brother Raoof is like, is as an extension of Brother Munir for all of us. They get us to think about it, as well as Sister Amina and others, and of course the children and Brother Halif and Brother Shahid, Brother Captain, and all of the extensions of Brother Munir's work out in the field. But we are equally proud of all of you all for continuing the good fight and stand on your post. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I was so caught up in what you were saying, man. I couldn't even form the next question, man. But you know, like I said, we and I had the honor, and I can thank you in person, man. I on the messenger's birth anniversary, my cousin was getting married down there, and just show that brotherhood, man. I think I hadn't been down there for about 5-6 years to show you how quickly time flies, and scoop me up, and as Brother Munir would say, my feet never touch the ground.
Yes, sir.
So, but the point of bringing that up is just to show that brotherhood, you know, even if we didn't see each other, you know, for years, which we didn't, you know, due to COVID and, you know, other time, and just you look up, it's years have passed by, but it doesn't mean we stop working though.
That's correct.
You know, we continue to work on this end. You all definitely kept working on your end. And the city of Camden kept working too, man.
Yes,
but
sir.
you know, and I joked with the people, but I was serious, and you talked about it from the podium. And because, and I've told you this many times, you paid attention to how Brother Munir navigated in the city of Chicago. And heck, if he stayed in the city long enough, how he navigated in that particular city. So,
yes, sir.
But in particular here in Chicago, and as Brother Raoof said, you know, it didn't matter where he was, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was going to be front and center.
That's correct.
And so you picked up on that. and you continue doing the work. You were an educator by trade and profession. You know, you were a star athlete in school. You know, you could have went many routes, but you continue doing this work of the liberation of our people via the teachings of the unobliged Muhammad. And you just went from there, but you got involved in your city because you live there. You pay taxes, so you deserve the same amenities that everybody else deserves, but you went a step further with that and really got involved. But as you got involved, you never even thought about putting your Islam in the bushel basket or hiding your life.
Yes, sir.
You continue, whether it was Governor Christie or Governor whoever.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, and not only that, and it's one thing to be at a function or a press conference with them. It's another thing for them to come to your house.
Yes, sir.
And to where you know make things happen at, and for them to submit and bear witness as well.
Yes, sir.
And so I want you to talk about that, and then we'll take a call.
I'm so thankful and grateful to have the opportunity to do what I'm doing. Of course, you know, Brother Munir was that one who kind of encouraged us to continue to go in that route. You know, and you know, we know all the misperceptions and conceptions of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his teachings, and his past history and everything. We know all that. And to try to be a steward of ushering in what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad represented, which is 360 degrees of truth, life, living, and understanding. And, you know, it wasn't a very easy step and road in the beginning, but Brother Munir was that inspiration. And the members of CROE, keep going. We love what you're doing. You all would be there and support us. And when I would come to Chicago, Brother Munir would, you know, show me how you can go outside of the walls of the mosque, church, quote unquote, temple, and just go out there and serve the people. You know, Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a servant. He sat with politicians. He sat with preachers. He sat with imams. He sat with foreigners. He sat with, you know, Japanese press. He sat with Chinese press. He sat with everybody, because Islam is a civilizing teachings. And to come, you know, years behind that, where people got their own ideas and concepts of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings are all about. You have to be firm in the foundation, as Brother Raoof just, you know, continue to allude to over and over again. You have to be firm in who you are. You have to know who you are. You got to understand the messenger. You got to love the messenger and his people.
All praise due to Allah. We still got that caller? Caller, you on the air?
Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers.
Wa alaikum salam, Brother me.
Yes, I'm enjoying the show, and happy Founders Day.
Thank you, sir. Happy Founders Day to you as well.
And give Brother Raoof the greetings for me also.
He hears you, my brother. And you, this is Brother Hamid Sharif from Fort Washington, Maryland, who's also a member of CROE and definitely a believer. And we thank you for your continued support in helping us doing this work as well, my brother.
Got to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Brother Mandene, that's the foundation of CROE. All around the country, people call in,
yes, sir,
and people that we know,
yes, sir,
and they're like brothers and uncles, and you know, people we can call to for counsel,
yes, sir,
you know, and at any time, and people who call us with encouragement,
yes, sir.
And that's the work of CROE, and what CROE has done for 36 years, and it's going to continue to do for another 36 years more. Because it's that, you know, that root foundation, regardless to who is out front.
Yes, sir.
Y'all all have shown that.
Yes, sir.
That when you got the foundation of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it's going to continue, regardless to who or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Because the messenger came and he clearly delivered the message.
Praise be to Allah. And Brother Hamid, you know, you definitely represent brotherhood when we on that road traveling. You know, once we get there, if we get to your home, we was guaranteed a home cooked meal. So personally, I thank you for that, sir. So, but I know,
well, my brother, you know, we all one.
Praise be to Allah, brother. Did you have any other questions or comments, anything?
No, I just want to let you know that I enjoy the show, and it's always good to see my brothers, whether we're in person or on television. So you all keep up the good work, brother.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir, our dear Brother Hamid.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, sir. So, I mean, and we talked about the work that you're doing there, my brother, and you know, and again, we just we thank you for your continued support.
Yes,
I had
sir.
the opportunity to interview two of the young brothers, real young
Yes,
brothers,
sir.
brother Hadar and brother Safdar,
Yes, sir.
earlier today, and I didn't get a chance to show them the pictures of when they were young children, at the school, and also when they came here, and just show you how time flies. And they're so well spoken, and they're so poised, and this is at a young age, 21, 20. So I can't wait to see what life has for them.
Yes, sir.
If they continue to stay the course, because they definitely. And one of them, I think it may have been, was a sophomore that I saw at the podium doing things.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, but this is the type of training that's needed. That it happens for other people all the time. We can't wait to, brother, they called me a millennial early. Nah, the 18, I'd be half of 100, man. So I'm far from that, man. So,
Yes, sir.
But it is so great to see, the next generation. As Brother Munir he always reference things to movies. He always talk about replacement killers, as
That's
he would
right.
say, the
That's
next
right.
next man up, next woman up.
That's
so
correct.
we're never held hostage. He
Correct.
always instilled that in us, and so I thank you for allowing me to talk to those young brothers.
Yes,
and
sir.
I want you to talk about the importance of grooming those young people, because that's what you have. You have a lot of those young people,
Yes.
and they're growing and they're learning fast.
That's the key, as you say, that Brother Munir would always say, we always got to be looking for replacements, and you can't do everything yourself.
Yes, sir.
And the young people have energy, and they're just looking for guidance and direction. And
Yeah.
what's the best guidance to give them other than Honorable Elijah Muhammad? I want to attribute that to those two particular young brothers you talked about, from Sister Nora's son, who has been a great helper of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as well as Sister Catherine's son, who's also a great helper of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through our school, the University of Islam, number 20 there in Camden, and working with our young people and giving them the head start that they need, that start of learning to read and write, as the Holy Quran tells us, read. And so they can read the messenger's books. And that is a pivotal point of teaching our young people, and then the whole community that's there at Temple number 20 that stayed the course. And I want to give a overwhelming support to those sisters. On the sister side, they stayed true, they've been firm, and they have supported what we're doing.
Yes, sir.
When others, were not so supportive, but they'll come back around.
Yes, sir.
And but we're going to keep going,
Yes, sir.
regardless, and we have kept going, and we're going to continue to go. But it allowed me to see, as you saw those young brothers who you interviewed this afternoon, to continue to work on that future, the next one coming up, to be able to talk to the millennials,
Yes, sir.
to that generation that Brother Raoof, was speaking about, because it's them who we have to raise to do the work.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We have to raise them up. They got to do the work now.
Absolutely,
Yes, sir.
absolutely. And one thing about it, you just as was done for us, you throw them right on in there. Of course, you guide them along the way, but they're in positions now that they're learning. They're learning, and it's something you said from the podium, because this world will eat you up. And as I was telling them, you got to lean on your brother, not the weak brother, the brother that's going to
Strong.
hold you accountable.
Correct.
So but you have them out there, and you let them see the world. But you don't shelter them. In a sense, even though Brother Hadar had gave a wonderful analogy about having shelter is not a bad thing. Because
Correct.
when it's
That's
snowing
right.
or raining, you want shelter.
Come on.
Yeah. So, but even with that analogy at 21 years old,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, and you don't have to do that on the phone or anything. You don't have to make a meme up. That came from his head.
Yes,
That
correct.
he had read
Yes,
or
sir.
learned or listened to someone. So that just shows the growth in what you are doing.
Yes, sir.
And it shows that they are standing tall and not hiding what they believe
And that's
in.
the work, Brother Mandene, and
Yes, sir.
that's what we, that's what we intentionally, with intentions,
Yes, sir.
tried to do, because I know the road that we was taking was the road less traveled. When you're standing firm on Elijah Muhammad and not on popularity and not on, charisma,
Yes, sir.
you got to stand on the foundation and truth, and that takes a minute, because our people have been robbed of those foundational nuances to have them to be able to understand things and see things before they come. Because if that was the case, then our communities would look a little different.
Praise be.
But we know from the love that Elijah Muhammad gives to us from our people, that we have to work with our people how Allah nurtures us in the Holy Quran from stage to stage.
Yes, sir.
We have to nurture people and community like that. So we intentionally said, we got to open our school, we got to work on those young people and nurture them through, especially in this time of day now,
Yes, sir.
where our young people have so much more challenges that we've had in the past. We really got to nurture them with the foundation of freedom, justice, and equality.
Praise be to Allah. As we begin to close out, as I ask Brother Raoof, your thoughts on this 36 years of doing this work here at CROE with the co-founders, and you know, what are your thoughts about that?
Oh man, what comes to mind is wow, to stay together and have an organization to stay together that long. Because some people don't stay together 36 minutes, and some days 36 hours without having a little this and a little that. And I'm pretty sure there were a slew of human issues that came up that human beings go through. But with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad at the foundation and the love of each other and self, that you can tell that the love is there,
yes,
because that love is expressed around all of us who came along those 36 years. It's just 15 years for us,
yes,
that we've known you all, but you all, it's like we've been in love the 36 years you all have been here.
Yes, sir.
Because we stepped right on in, and that is a testament to the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and to Brother Shahid, Brother Halif, and the late Brother Munir Muhammad, who was so dear to myself,
yes, sir,
and others who share his spirit that you see that's here now.
Yes, sir.
The testament. I was talking to Brother, oh man, I can't. Which girl? Not Brother George.
Khalil.
Yourself right there. I try to get
Brother
Brother Ishmael, and Brother Prince's son as well,
yeah.
Yusef, Brother Yusef, and how Brother Munir talked so much
yes, sir,
about them.
yeah.
I was a privilege,
yes, sir,
to speak to Brother Munir just about every day,
yes, sir,
for those years. Or if he didn't call me that day, call me every other day.
yeah.
And how much he spoke about them, and you know what he was trying to put into them for them to continue to do what they're doing now and supporting organization. And you're going to see in a few short days, brother, things that come out of them, as Brother Raoof talked about you in your teenage years, and you being that one. Of course, Brother Mandene, as I close, when you came to Camden, it was like Brother Munir.
Yes,
you was representing CROE,
yes,
or
sir,
Brother Halif, or Brother Shahid, or Sister Amina and Jamil came.
Yes,
of
sir,
course,
yes, sir,
because you are an extension of my brother.
Praise the
and that's the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you got 2 for 2. Both of y'all know how to close out a segment, man.
Yes,
All I can say is thank you, brother. Thank you for this
praise
abbreviated moment. And we know not only we're going to talk again in person,
Yes,
talk
sir.
again on tape, but I appreciate you, and I thank Allah for this brotherhood, my brother. Yes, sir.
Thank
you so much. Happy Founders Day.
Safety Foundation
Yes,
to you
sir.
too, beloved.
Praise
Yes,
be to Allah. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this break. We're going to close out with the co-founders of CROE, and we're going to take it on home and get ready for the celebration tonight. So we'll be right back.
It's against your own health. That hog creates more diseases in your body than you have any dreams of. In fact, about it, stop eating the hog, eat right, eat the proper food, and you will find 75% of your sickness leaving you. Just try it.
And we are back closing out the show with the co-founders of the Coalition for the Remembrance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, our dear brothers Halif Muhammad and Shahid Muslim. I want to remind everyone that we are streaming live, 773-434-6625. And obviously, we couldn't close the show out with two better people and having the co-founders on. So we here. You know, we've been working y'all to death, you know, bringing y'all on the show to talk about, you know, what's going to happen tonight. But I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to it being over with. You know, so but no, all jokes aside, this is I look forward to this this time.
Yes,
and working on behalf of this organization and working on behalf of the foundation that you all laid, you know, for us to be able to do this type of work. So I'm honored. So happy Founders Day. What's on your mind? How do you feel about this day?
Happy Founders Day to everybody. I just get a kick out of so many people that we hold dear that come and celebrate with us and really appreciate and can identify with the effort that's been made. You know, that's the most important thing. I know Brother Wasim, the minister, came before me, right?
Yes, sir.
And I was just thinking, we weren't even looking for him. You know, we came to Philadelphia at the request of someone else. And when we saw him, you know, it just looked like Muslims, looked like they should have been with us all the time. We couldn't pay a toll on and the big boy closed that bridge. What's his name? Christie, yeah. But everywhere we went, we had these experiences. And you know, of course, Raoof grew up with us.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't know how long we've had friendship and lived with each other and interacted. But for them to take the time to travel, to come and be with us, not just this occasion, but on all occasions, we can count on them just like we can the regular members to be here. It just brings joy to my heart.
Yeah, as you alluded to, it's nothing to take lightly. You know, to take money out of your own pocket and buy a plane ticket and travel here to celebrate with us. So
that's
yes,
right.
Sir. What are your thoughts, Brother Shahid?
My thoughts, brother, I think it's what, 36 years?
Yes, sir.
We've been doing this here, brother, for 36 years. And we got basically the same people that we started out with, they're still here. And that's unusual for any group or any organization that can have the same people that are still here for this 36 years, the sisters and the brothers. And that's what I like so much. That's what I'm proud of, that we have these people that's still here. Because I'm going to tell you, doing something for 36 years, brother, you ain't going to find too many people that can do that with a organization. And those who don't have organization just have a job. But most people don't be on the job for 36 years.
Yes,
they get fired or something else, or they find another job. But for 36 years, we've been doing this here, following the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And to me, that's great. And I love it. And I hope, I pray to God, if I do right, I can go 36 more years.
Well, you just said earlier you just wanted 19.
No, but that's don't pay no attention to that. That's all right. You don't say it.
We got a call. We got to still call you on the air with the co-founders of CROE. Caller.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.
I was just sitting back enjoying the show, and I just want to say to the founders and to our guests who are in town, happy Father's Day. I'm just forever grateful, as Brother Minister Wasim said from the podium today, that you brothers laid that foundation and established that work ethic for us to only look at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the last messenger of God, and not to look at any of his students or anybody else and get distracted. And I especially love how you taught me and the rest of us not to even look at yourselves, but to just pick up the work and do it. You know, so I'm just inspired today that you brothers never changed. When I wasn't strong enough to stay and came back the second time, The program was exactly the same and has never changed since I've been there. Probably wouldn't have stayed had you all changed, but you stayed the course, never deviated. And as Brother Minister said, too, and I'm so proud of them brothers with that training program he's got with them young brothers, really inspiring us to do what we need to do. Because in a minute, it's going to be nothing left but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings and those who stand on that platform that's going to be able to get after our people. So, again, I just want to say thank you, brothers. Happy 36th Founders Day. I'm glad the doors stayed open long enough for me to come back and bear witness. And thanks again to our brother, Minister Wasim, for inspiring us today, Brother Raoof, and, of course, you too, Brother Mandene. That work program, the work ethic that you put up with is always inspiring. So just want to say how much I'm enjoying the show, enjoying the day, and looking forward to this evening. And as Brother Munir would say, as you just said, Brother Bandine, looking forward to be over with.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
We definitely going to have a couple of people that's going to be here way past 7:30. But,
Yes, sir.
But we appreciate their support.
All right.
But,
That's right about that.
Yeah, but you know, he had mentioned, and we have a few moments left, but I got to bring this up. The doors were still open because he had came, as he makes no mystery about it. He came, felt he wasn't strong enough, and came back. But he wasn't the only one. You know, Brother Sharif, who's one of our mainstays.
Right.
He looked at the TV show a long time before he came through the door.
Yeah.
And talk about, I want you all to talk about not only that you all made sure that the lights stayed on and the doors stayed open, but also the consistency. If we pull out a cassette tape now from 9145 South Ashland,
Right.
it's going to sound the same as 2435 this afternoon.
Right.
So talk about that consistency and also why it was so important to always make sure that we kept the doors open and lights on.
Well, we wanted to make sure that it was the truth. And the truth means you don't quit. If you give up, then you failed or you had a shortcoming or something. But I told that brother that whatever he do, this won't get in your way. This will make you better at whatever it is that you do. And my brother, you know, he would always say, thinking about Wasim now and his touch that he has with the young people. I sometimes would get fatigued. Munir would say, let him try. You know, but he was always looking for what he called replacement killers. I think of you, just a boy, when I met you. I used to come and pick you up. Of course, now you got to be, you got to be ready now, because I'm going.
Because sometimes I would come out, that car would be slowly pulling off.
Yeah, but the people, like Shahid said a few minutes ago, the people that are here, they had the right ingredients.
Yes, sir.
Because for the most part, they stayed, they became, and the brothers that you mentioned, two stalwarts, so scholarly, and we gave them the formula is that look at this man here, don't look at us, don't look at nobody else, and you tell me, have they got it? Everything that comes out of their mouth is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad this or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that.
Yes,
And that was the goal, that was the mission, you know, is to teach the people of him. And you won't go into that terrible place that we found ourselves in here in Chicago, where the greatest impact of any leader on earth has ever been, you know, and you got more to say about South Sheen than you do the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I'm glad that we had the tenacity to stay.
I definitely am.
You see, brother, once these teachings get into you, brother, you can't cut it loose. It's impossible. I mean, now, once these teachings came into me, brother, and when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed, you know, some of us got a little weak. We went out there into the world a little bit. but we come right back. I remember me and Munir, we used to see each other all the time. He was living right there, right off of 69th Street or somewhere, and I was living on 71st Street, and we used to be going to Jules grocery store, and we see each other, and man, we say, man, we got to do something.
Yes, sir.
We got to get back on where we supposed to be with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So me and him started meeting first in his house. It was about 7 of us, wasn't it? It was 7 of us.
9.
9 of them. 3 of us was in the nation, but the other people were not. And those people, they not here now. But the 3 that was in the nation, we are still here.
Right.
We still, and brother, but once these teachings grab hold to you, brother, you can't cut it loose unless you just a weak believer. Now, if you're a weak believer, anything can happen. But brother, these teachings are gonna make you stronger.
Yes, sir.
I bear witness to it, brother. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you, I love the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna stay right here until the day I go. Because with these teachings, brother, I believe. Now, if there was some place up in the sky called heaven, I believe that's where I would go. But right now, I got my heaven right here on the planet Earth. This is heaven. The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Praise be to Allah. We that's it. That's all we got, man.
Okay.
You know, I just want to say that I'm honored to be able to still do this work on behalf, and I thank you all for allowing me to somewhat be out there. You know,
Yes, sir.
to interact with the people on you all's behalf.
You
know,
copy it well.
I praise due to Allah. So as I told the young brothers earlier, I want to make sure I don't embarrass the organization and embarrass you all. So I continue to, if I'm going to work in you all's name, then I want to make sure I come correct. So, you know, with that being said, happy Founders Day.
Yeah.
And let's
Let me
go.
say something else, brother.
That's
You
what
can work in our name, but just put our name under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's name. That's whose name you working in.
Yes, sir.
That's the name that you work in, brother.
Understood. Yes,
That's
sir.
it.
All praise due to Allah. On
I
behalf
agree.
of the director of CROE, the secretary of CROE, our late great brother Munir Muhammad, the CROE membership, the CROE Media Group. I'm Brother Mandene T. Muhammad. So excited, looking forward to seeing each and every one of you later on. May Allah continue to bless you with the light of understanding as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.